everybody. It is February 6th and the first Friday in February, and that kind of alliteration is what leads me to break into song. One toke over the line, sweet Michael, one toke over the line. That's why you very rarely ever see me sing. And with apologies to Brewer and Shipley, but those lyrics really highlight this week's top story. Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps was caught this week on camera honking on a bong. That's right. Well, it explains two things to me. Number one, why he eats so much, and number two, why he always has that goofy grin on his face. Meanwhile, back here in Illinois, Rod Blagojevich left his house on Monday and saw his shadow, which means we are in for 6 more weeks of him appearing on TV. I'm telling you right now, don't be at all surprised if he pops up as a contestant on Survivor. To pay for all his PR costs, he has resorted to selling his hair on eBay. Not the hair on his head, no, but the hair that was left on the barber's floor after he had his last haircut. He was sweeping it up and saying, "This stuff is bleeping golden. I'm not going to give it away." Well, I don't know if this week's funnies are bleeping golden, but they are pretty bleeping funny. So, let's launch into them, shall we? First of all, with the economy as bad as it is, many banks are really struggling to stay afloat. But a bank in Loveland, Colorado has more applicants than they really need. It's the Loveland Sperm Bank, where their motto is, "The future is in your hands." Anyhow, they normally get about 150 donors per year. But since September of last year, they have had over 400 applicants. Now, whenever an applicant is accepted, they get paid for their donation, which, you know, is why it's such a popular way to pick up some extra walking around money. But I feel sorry for the mother-to-be/recipient who will be receiving the sperm of someone who does not have a job and has resorted to selling their own body fluids in order to stay alive. So, best of luck to those kids. Here's a story about a different kind of pot smoking. In San Francisco, somebody is setting fire to portable toilets. That's right, vandals at a construction site have been setting fire to portable toilets just for fun. And personally, I don't see how much fun can be derived from a flaming loo. Unless, of course, you toss it up on somebody's front porch, ring the doorbell, and run away, and they come out and they try and stamp out the fire. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's not a flaming loo. That's a bag of flaming poo. Anyhow, that made me giggle. Anyhow, so far the arsonists, I should say, have torched 20 portable potties, and investigators have nothing to go on. Thank you very much. All right, welcome to Stupid Town Population U. You know, I have always said that criminals are not the sharpest spoons in the drawer, but this week in Cleveland, Ohio, there is a guy that took criminal idiocy to a new apex. His name is Alejandro Melendez. He was standing on the street corner and he noticed 2 guys with guns eyeballing him. So he called 911, said, "Hey, there's 2 guys with guns looking at me." And while he was talking to the 911 dispatcher, he told the dispatcher, "Hold on a second," while he sold some heroin to a customer who walked up to him. Well, the dispatcher could still hear everything that was going on and immediately sent the police to arrest Mr. Melendez. Well, thank goodness, now at least he doesn't have to worry about those 2 guys with guns eyeballing him anymore. He's just got to worry about his cellmates.
Ouch!
Finally, an Australian man was returning from a trip to the Mideast this week when he was stopped by customs officials in Sydney, Australia, for trying to smuggle in 2 pigeons in his pants. That's right, the man had 2 pigeons taped into his shorts, and they also found, when they went through his luggage, they also found that he had a couple of eggs and an undeclared eggplant. So he was arrested. The pigeons described the ordeal as a living hell, and customs officials enjoyed an eggplant omelet. Hey, that's all I have for you this week, but we've had so many requests. If you didn't have an opportunity to check out my 15 seconds of fame last week on the Jerry Springer Show, let me bring it to you right now. Let me set it up first. There were 2 couples who all worked at the Waffle House, and they were kind of like sleeping with each other. Well, the two men got into a fight, and as they often do on the Springer Show, they removed their shirts to wrestle about properly. They did not, however, remove their neckties, and when they brought them out at the end, the guys were just wearing ties and no shirts. That prompted this question and the ensuing heckling from the trailer-bound residents. I'll see you next week.
I have a question for the Waffle House Walton family. Are ties required to eat in the Waffle House?
No, they're not.
It worked for you and me.
Yeah.
Where'd you get your hair plugs?
Hey, no, this is a toupee. It's just
sorry.
very bad. I'm saving up.
You can save a little bit more.